It's time now to review headlines on today's newspapers with the Ombudsman of This Day and Arise Media Group and This Day's Newspaper Limited Group Executive Director, Kayode Komolafe. Good morning, Mr. Komolafe.
Good morning, Oji.
We've missed you. You haven't been around for a while now.
Just only last Sunday.
Just three. It's a lot.
Good morning, Kiki.
Good morning, Steve.
Good to have you, sir.
It's great to be here again.
Yes,
Thank
nice
you.
to have you.
All right, so we'll start the newspaper review, as always, with This Day on Sunday. Here, the lead story says, governors not opposed to Naira redesign, seek engagement with CBN. And the riders are illuminating. Set up Soludo-led 6-man committee. Fault NFIU's ban on cash withdrawals from government accounts. No going back on cash withdrawal limits. Agency replies, governors. CBN launches cash swap scheme to mop up old banknotes. And on top of that lead story, NAF expects delivery of 27 fighter jets, attack helicopters to both fight against terrorism. That's the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Oladayamal, speaking yesterday at the Nigerian Air Force. On top of the masthead, US renews threat to deny visa violators of Nigeria's electoral process. That's on page 9. Oji, part of what we mentioned earlier about the fact that international bodies and other countries are interested in the outcome of the election. And this one is saying that, the threat on visa, to deny visa to violators of Nigeria electoral process.
Yeah, it happened last election as
exactly,
well. So
exactly.
It's not new.
So that should ring in their ears
Absolutely.
That America is not joking. And an interesting one, I'm sure that Oji will like this. Arise Fashion Week holds 20th edition.
I also
February,
like it too.
February 2nd. I like it too. Designers on
He has
parade.
to always call me out.
On parade include Ajabeng, Amir by Amir, Oji,
Go
this
ahead.
is your talk.
You're doing well. You're doing well. Go ahead.
Our mighty Bianca Saunders, Bloke. Who else is there?
Dyer.
A lot, a whole lot who are coming.
Bassi, Larry da Silva.
Larry da Silva.
New faces, a lot of new faces.
Uniform,
and just a few.
Yeah, Nini, Pepero. Quite an impressive lineup, isn't it?
Yes, very impressive.
We should be looking forward to this.
Absolutely. And it's between what?
It's on the 2nd of February.
2nd. At the Eco Hotel and Suites.
That's right.
It's going to be running for about 2 days or 3 days, correct? I'm just reading all that
event which will be held in Lagos from February 2nd to the 4th, 2023. And it will showcase exceptional designers from Africa and Africans in the diaspora.
3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
That's a good one. And last but not the least, another story on page 9 of today's This Day on Sunday is time for change. Article declares, says APC a disappointment. And I think that maybe that has got something to do with the cover picture, We Come in Peace. That's the national chairman of the PDP, Dr. Yoche Ayu, with the candidate, Atiku Abubakar, Emir of Mina, Alhaji Umar Farouk Bahago, and the party's vice presidential candidate and governor of Delta State, and the Sokoto governor, during a courtesy visit to the monarch before the party's presidential campaign rally in Mina. Interesting stories there, KK.
Very interesting, Steve. Let us begin with the lead story of This Day on Sunday.
Yes.
And the story should be put within a constitutional conference, a constitutional context.
Yes.
A constitutional context, yeah. It's a bit strange, that this intervention from the governor is, from the governors, is coming in this way. This is because the third schedule of the Constitution, part 1 of the third schedule of the Constitution, section H, actually provides for the National Economic Council. That council, which is constitutionally, chaired by the Vice President, is composed of the 36 state governors, the governor of Central Bank, and any other person that the council may wish to co-opt, depending on the issue, the agenda. So normally, you will expect that that council should be meeting regularly, should be working, especially that the country is facing huge economic challenges. So what I'm saying is that, these issues being raised there, there are things that have come up on the agenda of the National Economic Council, where the central bank governor, the 36 state governors, along with the central bank governor, are members. And the vice president of the vice president of the federation is also the chairman of that council for coordination. So I'm saying that, so like some critics have said that maybe the governors are interfering, in what the CBN is doing. It's not interfering. What I'm saying is that the constitution actually envisages that the governors, will need to make input. And this is also simply because the Nigerian political economy is one. You don't have 36 or 37 or 38 different political economies within Nigeria. It's only one political economy. And the national management of, for the proper national management of that particular, of that political economy, that is why you have the provision for the National Economic Council. Not only that, some of the agencies, and appointees that are made, people often make the mistake, in the expectation from them. The Central Bank of Nigeria is Central Bank of Nigeria, not the Central Bank of Central Government or the federal government. So the governors, be interested in what the CBN is doing. It's not interference. It is it's not just only their right. It is their duty, to be interested. And that is why I'm saying that all these things should have been taken care of at the level of the National Economic Council. Just like the Accountant General of the Federation is not the same thing as the Accountant General of federal government. So what the Accountant General of the Federation for that is doing, the governors have a duty to know, what is going on. And that is why that forum, has been created. So I'm just saying that if the National Economic Council has been working well, you don't need this kind of ad hoc intervention. It should have been a routine thing.
Absolutely.
Maybe it will have come up in their meeting that maybe if they don't feel it should be, there's need for a public statement about it. There will be no public statement, and then the economy will be working. So the morale, of the point I'm making is just that when we have institutions, the institutions should work, as provided, in the law, so that we'll be able to have the optimal output, from it, rather than this, ad hoc, interventions.
Okay.
The other story, which is in its own case is positive, is the assurance given by the Chief of Air Staff that some of the aircraft, the fighter jets that they are expecting, that very soon they will have a delivery.
Yeah.
And with that, that is raising the hope that the fight against terrorism, against banditry, generally for the security of the country, will be enhanced. And of course, the Arise Fashion Week. Now, I think what this year's edition, I underlines one, is that it's not. Of course, it's a continuation, of the celebration, of fashion by Arise, but also the celebration of Arise itself, because of its role, in championing, fashion, arts, music, in the last 10 years.
Yes.
So that should.
This is the 20th edition.
But so it's also a way of also looking at the history, and the progression, of Arises, and also like you were remarking. While introducing the topic, it is also remarkable the diversity, of the designers that are in the show. So I think we expect a great week.
Yeah, and we'll be there.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
Okay, fantastic. Well, all right. Let's move to this day's style. The picture story: Emeka Anyaoku, an iconic diplomat. He's celebrating his 90th birthday. First of all, I want to wish him a very happy birthday. Emeka Anyaoku is a distinguished statesman and a diplomat who has dedicated his life to serving his country and the international community. He has spent a good part of his 9 decades on Earth making a profound impact on the world through his tireless work in diplomacy and politics. And inside this day style was a huge turnout, a gathering of the who is who in Nigeria. We also, I believe, had...
That's his birthday?
This was his birthday. It was held, I believe, where was this? The Metropolitan Club in Victoria Island, Lagos. Buhari sent a representative, that his chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari. We see here also former Nigeria President Olusegun Obasanjo, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and of course Prince Nduka Obaigbena, Atedo Peterside. Really, the who is who in Lagos gathered here to celebrate his birthday. Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday to him. All right. Yeah. Should we go to move to Sunday Tribune?
Yeah, I think
exactly.
Sorry, it would be definitely in order for me to say happy birthday to Chief Emeka Anyaoku. Again, I'd also to commend this day style, for that nice production, which is a fitting tribute, that icon. In Nigeria we use the word, the category icon, so loosely, in a very elastic manner, So I think if you are talking on one occasion in which to use the word fittingly, not as a misnomer, I think this is one occasion that is
absolutely.
And when we really talk of icon in true terms, Chief Emeka Anyaoku is one, because definitely he is one of our best and brightest. Two, it also also let me also underline this, that he belongs to what I would call the vanishing breed. That is when you have people who are exemplars of values. Certain values that and they are very consistent with it. Because when you listen to, even at the old age, his interventions, on national issues, you could see consistency, in terms of promotion of values, of decency, and also patriotism, that is there, So I think from the life, of icons like Chief Anyaoku, there is a lot, a lot more. That's why I said that it will definitely be in order for us to say happy birthday to Chief Anyaoku.
Thank you, KK. Okay, so we move to Sunday Tribune. The banner headline here says, Kogi Governor withdraws support for Tinubu over Faleke. Fierce APC presidential candidate may work against him in November governorship election. Governor Bello remains committed to APC candidate. That's according to a member of the cabinet. I think Sunday Tribune is basing this on sources, highlighting the political differences between the Kogi State governor.
It's the season of conspiracy theories. I am going to have more of such in the next.
Absolutely.
In the next coming weeks.
You're right, sir. And there are other stories, interesting stories on the cover of today's Tribune. On top of the masthead, Nigerians can now deposit old notes for new notes from Monday, says CBN. And no going back on cash withdrawal limit, NFIU tells governors. We saw that in this day on Sunday already. Nigerians groan as petrol sells for 300 Naira. Long queues hit Oyo, Osun, and Ondo. And I dare say in many parts of Nigeria where people are buying at exorbitant prices. EFCC jeopardizing anti-oil theft war. Tompolo's oil surveillance company cries out. Accuses agency of arm twisting its head of operations. That's on page 5 of the Tribune, where we also have a few other interesting stories. Buhari to inaugurate Lekki Deep Sea Port. Others in Lagos tomorrow. And I think that the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, will be a very happy man having the privilege of completing a number of landmark projects, started by his predecessors from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Babajide Raji Fashola to Akinwumi Ambode. But tomorrow he will be the star of the day when President Buhari will be commissioning the Lekki Deep Sea Port, the Motorized, the J.K. Randu Center, and the Blue Line Rail. Those are iconic projects that Lagosians definitely will enjoy in the days and months and years to come. Or your traditional council to receive 10% of allocations. And last but not the least, tension in Cross River over alleged beavers machine in government house. INEC orders investigation, police call for calm. And I see that our brother, Rotimi Oyekomi, who speaks for INEC, did put something out on Twitter last night, I think, or this morning, to say that there is nothing like that. But Tribune is reporting that the INEC has formally orders investigation, and police is saying, you know, be calm, we will deal with this issue. For the article story, we already dealt with that in today's, these days. So those are the other stories that Tribune has on its cover for today. Yes,
let's start with the good news in Lagos. We are reporting from Lagos. So when there is good news for Lagos,
absolutely.
I think like Steve said,
yes,
it's expected that Governor Sanwo-Olu should be in upbeat mood, you know, and justifiably so. I dare say, you know, that again that we're expecting President Buhari, you know, this definitely is not going to be a routine visit, you know, because of the nature, you know, of the projects that we commissioned, you know. I will say that, you know, when this concept of commission, you know, again, which has been vulgarized in Nigeria, that you commission a borehole, you commission a transformer, commission, you know, that really when you are talking of commissioning,
yes,
you know, what President Buhari is coming to do tomorrow, it is really what, you know, in the true sense of the word, that is what, you know, commissioning should be, you know, the Lekki seaport, you know, for the point.
Seaport.
You know, like I also joined Steve in acknowledging that definitely it is something that is worth celebrating. That, you know, now we are talking of completion,
yes,
and not abandonment.
And
you know,
not abandonment.
That when one administration, you know, starts, you know, a project,
yes,
and it is justifiable, so that it's in the interest, you know, of the people, you know, of the economy. That it's only logical, anyway. Exactly, you know, it is only logical and commonsensical that the succeeding administration, you know, the administration should ensure that those, you know, projects, you know, are accommodated, and that all these, you know, projects, you know, they mean a lot, not just only for the economy of Lagos, you know, which is the, you know, of course, the largest in the country, but also, you know, for the society, you know,
yes,
you know, because, for instance, the J.K. Randu Center, you know, what it means, you know,
yes,
in historical,
iconic,
you know,
cultural
edifice, you know,
absolutely.
And that is actually giving, you know, I mean, drawing attention, you know, yes, to the need for what we call the all-round development, you know.
Yes.
You know that, because at times when people talk of development, we also forget that we need, you know, cultural development, yes, you know, interplay between culture, you know, and development. And
it falls within, yes, the creative economy Lagos State is known for.
Of Lagos, you know. So we expect President Buhari tomorrow,
yes,
and I think it's going to be a great, yes, day, you know.
And Lagosians should just bear with the expected fallout of the traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because this one is justifiable. This one is justifiable.
All right, we only have 1 minute. Let's quickly go to the Sunday Telegraph, the lead story. Why power may remain in North. This is an investigation by the Telegraph. Oligarchs, governors block votes for Atiku. Expect southern votes to be shared amongst the three big parties. You know, Sunday Telegraph is saying checks reveal that various factors ranging from insincerity on the part of the northern governors, the Atiku Abubakar factor, IPOB, the reign of violence in the southeast, as well as the face-off between campaign councils of APC and Labour Party may conspire to make people's wish a mirage. And then we've dealt with the story above there. Governors, Nigerians facing huge challenges over Naira redesign. The riders there, CBN introduces cash swap policy in villages. Agents to charge 3% for swap above 10,000 Naira. Mr. Komolafe, I don't know if you want to quickly touch on this story before we wrap.
And very quickly too,
yes,
you know, that it's all part of the conspiracy theories. You know, this is the season of speculation. Because I went through the story. If I mean, you should be able to quote somebody. You know, yes, I mean, if a politician is taking a position, that politician should be able to own up to what he wants to do.
It's the season.
So it's expected. You are going to have more speculations. Yes.
Absolutely.
The elections are almost here, so
Yes.
we can't wait.
Yeah.